Welcome to my, hi, this is Trey Passer. Welcome to my Saturday horror reviews. This is episode, I believe, 12, I believe. Yeah, 12. Anyway, okay, so for this week, I picked, I'm a big monster movie fan. I love the giant monster movies, and I picked a movie that was actually sent to me by a good friend, Tyler Preston 20. Okay, he sent this to me along with King Kong vs. Godzilla. This is 1967's King Kong Escapes. Okay, and like I said, I love the giant monster movies. I grew up watching them as a kid, so I'm a big fan of these. Okay, so what this basic story is about is you have an evil scientist, a Doctor Who, believe it or not, that's his name, and his sponsor, Madam X. They're supposed to be digging for this highly radioactive element called Element X. Okay, it's supposed to give them a leg up in the nuclear, I guess, arms race. So, Madam X is basically sponsoring Doctor Who to do this, and he creates, after stealing the plans, basically, from sketches, excuse me, from Commander Nelson, he builds a mechanical King Kong to dig in the North Pole to dig out, dig down to get to Element X, because they have apparently there's a ton of it underneath the North Pole. Okay, and his scenario is to dig that up and then give it to Madam X and to her country, her foreign country, and then still sell it back to her. She'll give it to her government, and they'll be far advanced in the nuclear arms race. Okay, but what happens is Kong doesn't. He actually the mechanical Kong. When he does it, digs down. He actually suffers a malfunction, so he can't bring it out. Okay, and in the meantime, you have this UN inspection team made up of Commander Nelson, Lieutenant Commander Hiro and Nomura, and Nurse Susan Miller. Okay, they're on their way, I think, to some other testing facility when they actually in the submarine, and they actually run into an accident where the ship has to pause and they have to repair it. So in the meantime, they come close to an island where the legendary King Kong is supposed to live. Okay, and since they have time, the commander and Susan Miller and his lieutenant commander, they decide to go onto the island and explore and look around. And of course, they actually run into King Kong. Actually, before they run into King Kong, the commander and the lieutenant commander, they basically tell, this is the dumbest thing I ever see. They tell Susan Miller, listen, you stay here. It'll be safer for you to be here by yourself while we go off and explore. So basically, they tell her, you stay here by yourself while we go off to explore. Okay, which is retarded. It would be better, of course, if she went with them. But of course, then they wouldn't have the main plot point of the movie. But of course, they go off, and of course, she's waiting. And then in the meantime, a hungry giant reptile spots Susan and thinks, this will make a nice snack. But then, of course, she starts screaming. And then, of course, who hears it? King Kong. He wakes up in his cave, hearing the screams. And, he's a sucker for a pretty girl. And he comes out and he battles the monster. And, of course, then picks up Susan Miller. And, of course, he's instantly smitten with the gorgeous Susan Miller. He's instantly smitten with her. And he kind of listens to her, to what she says. And she basically tells him to put her down. Okay, and she even, they go off, the commander and the lieutenant commander come back, and they try to escape in a little sub and get back to the submarine. But, of course, King Kong is smitten, so he follows them back out there, and he even catches up to the submarine, kind of shakes it until Susan Miller comes out and tells him, basically, no, Kong, don't shake the ship. Don't destroy the ship. And Kong, of course, is chasing, of course, and does what he says. And then they kind of take off and leave Kong to his own devices. Okay, and then, of course, they go back and report this to the UN Commission that they found the island where Kong was and stuff, and they report it. And then, of course, who's at this meeting at the UN? Madam X. She's there, actually undercover, and she reports back to Doctor Who and tells him, listen, you can go back, Doctor Who, you go get the real King Kong, okay, and we can control him, but if we capture Lieutenant Commander and Susan Miller, because apparently Kong listens to her. So that's what their plan is. They go back and they actually successfully kidnap Kong and take him back to the North Pole. Okay, and then he fake orders and capture Lieutenant Commander and the Commander and Susan Miller and take them back to the island, into the North Pole with them. And of course, they had Kong drugged and hypnotized, and they have him digging out looking for the Element X. But then of course Kong gets he's hypnotized, but then he gets kind of unhypnotized because it's a beeping noise from this Element X that kind of makes him dizzy at first, and then it kind of wakes him up, and he disregards the headphones that the Doctor Who attached to him to give him instructions about digging, and of course then Kong tries to escape, but then they lower the cage on him, and then at the same time, Doctor Who and Madam X are trying to convince Lieutenant Commander and the other commander to convince Kong, have Susan Miller to convince Kong to go back down there and dig for Element X. And of course, they're not having it. And of course, and so they try various things of torture, freezing them out and stuff, and trying to smooth talk him. And even Madam X tries to wine and dine the commander, and kind of Mata Hari's him in a way. But of course, that doesn't work. And then of course, King Kong, he breaks out. He hears, of course, Susan Miller being tortured, and he basically breaks out of this thing, and he basically swims off from the North Pole and heads for Tokyo. Of course, heads for Tokyo, and of course, with the mechanical mechanical Kong, right after him, and of course, somewhere along the line, Madam X, she kind of has a change of heart, and she kind of helps the commander and the lieutenant commander and Susan Miller escape. Of course, and they go to Tokyo as well, and meet up with the military officials there, and basically tell them to don't attack Kong, because if you attack Kong and he fights, he's going to destroy Tokyo. Or if when the Mega Kong is coming, they don't want them to fight, because of course they'll destroy Tokyo. And then of course Susan Miller comes and she tells Kong, she calms Kong down and tells him don't fight Kong. But then of course Mega Kong comes and he's destroying stuff, and he's to get to Kong, and then he puts Susan Miller down Kong, and then Mega Kong picks her up, and basically he starts climbing this mega tower that looks sort of like the tower of what's that in Paris? I forgot, what do you call that tower of Jesus Christ? Eiffel Tower. That's what it looks like, the Eiffel Tower. But it's called the Tokyo Tower in this movie. But it looks just like the Eiffel Tower to me. Anyway, of course, and then you have them the fighting battle between Kong and Mega Kong, basically climbing up the big tower, Tokyo Tower. Okay, now this movie, like I said, I remember this as a kid, seeing this as a kid, and the one thing I want to say is, woof, they really, really, I think, did a crappy job with King Kong, because the guy in the suit looks, first of all, he looks too short, okay, and then the second thing, just the design of him is just really, really ugly. I mean, they really made him look ugly. I think they could have made him look a lot better than he was. He looks really, really, really ugly in this movie. I mean, he looks downright handsome, I guess, in King Kong versus Godzilla. But in this one, he looks sort of, like I said, it looks too short to me, and just it looks really, really ugly. Okay, which is, that's my opinion about that. But anyway, and I also remember a thing from my childhood, because that Susan Miller, okay, the nurse, the hot nurse, her voice really, really annoying. She was the only one that could talk to Kong and make Kong do things, but her voice was really annoying. Kong, come back, Kong. Put me down, Kong. No, just really annoying. Anyway, but overall, I was entertained by this movie, and like I said, the guy who played Doctor Who was the proper villain, really menacing and trying to be charming at the same time. And Madam X, the woman that played Madam X, she was gorgeous too as well. Okay, and the commander, the guy that played the commander, he was good, and Lieutenant Commander, he was good as well. Like I said, you could acting. Yeah, like I said, you had a couple of fights in here. The big climactic fight, I guess, between Kong and Mega Kong wasn't as good as I remember it. I mean, it was okay. You know, basically they don't really. I mean, they have more of a fight. I think. Uh, well, no, the fight. I mean, it wasn't much of a fight. A couple of haymakers throwing the kicks and stuff, but basically them climbing up the tower. You know, I would have liked to see them more on land. You know, battling each other. That would have been, I think, a little bit better to me. But overall, it was an entertaining movie. So I'm going to give King Kong Escapes a let's see, a 7 out of 10? No, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Okay, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Okay? Okay, it was entertaining. Not the best. Okay? But, like I said, I would have liked a better fight between Kong and Mega Kong. That would have probably pushed it over a 7 to me, but as of now, it's a decent watch. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 for King Kong Escapes. Anyway, that's my review of King Kong Escapes. Let me know what you think. If you've seen it, of course, feel free to leave comments down below. And if you like this review, please hit the subscribe button down below. This is Trey Pash for Trey Pash's Saturday Horror Review, saying so long. And Horoscope 101 channel as well. I'll put this on that channel as well, saying so long and take care.